This series is all about cutting-edge architecture. Travelling far and wide across America, we showcase some of the country's most groundbreaking and stunning architectural projects and talk to their leading designers to uncover the incredible stories behind them. Welcome to America by Design. American architecture is world-class, and our ByDesign team of industry experts have selected some of the best architectural statements from around the country.
I love looking at other people's work. I mean, I get inspired. I see how they tackle problems, beautiful forms. I mean, there's nothing better than looking at, beautiful design.
Architects play a huge role in the built environment, and we have a great responsibility in how we handle that. And no pressure, right?
Let's get started with our first project. Twisted Ridge, a beautiful project nestled in the mountains above Hudson Valley. But Twisted Ridge? It's a curious name that I suspect has a story behind it.
Mike, welcome to Twisted Ridge.
Well, thank you, John. And I understand this is where the discussion started with your client on the ridge here.
Our first meeting right here, this young couple buys this 11-acre lot. Mm-hmm. We got here. This is actually the only thing that was on the site.
Oh, wow.
A vacant land with this beautiful bench.
Yeah.
And we sat here and we were like, what are the goals of the project?
Yeah, I bet there was some discussion around the placement of the house. I mean, I see a nice flat part there.
It is. There's a couple of moments where the house could sit, but we realized that placing it up here maximized the view shed for the family of these amazing Catskill Mountains and really brought that into their everyday lives. All right, Mike, I had to show you this space first. It's my favorite space in the entire house.
You couldn't wait, John?
I couldn't. Look at this. Come on.
Oh, yes. This does feel nice.
Now, I would argue it feels nice because of the proportions. The room is 20 feet wide by 40 feet long by 10 foot high.
Okay, it's all maths to you.
It's always math for us. This is what we're doing.
So what other tricks?
So you'll notice there's no TV in the room and actually minimal lighting in the ceiling. We worked with WAC lighting on that.
But the main source of lighting's here.
It's the view, right? We glaze this entire view. We have our kitchen, dining and living, and we're just giving back to the family this view no matter what season or time of day.
But that was the brief.
That was. All right, let me take you to the primary suite. But first though, let's check out the primary bath. You can see here tone-on-tone material, really, really simple. And we actually use this florum tile to really tie the entire space together.
Lovely little detail.
Yeah. Okay, now imagine this is your primary bedroom.
I'm loving it.
Right, and every morning you get to wake up and this is your view. You take your Lutron shades, you bring them on up, and that's what's revealed.
Whoa, and because we're another floor up, the view is enhanced.
Yeah, it's almost like architecture at the treetops.
Okay, so this is the guest house.
Yeah, this is this little special spot on the property. And you'll notice this beautiful little living room, but what is it looking out to?
The view.
It's the view, baby, every single time. Yes. But you'll notice something. Let me show you. In ArchiCAD over here, I can show you what's going on. You'll notice as you come down this hall, where the bedrooms are, it's private. We removed all the doors and windows to create visual privacy.
Right, and then I've noticed on the opposing side, the main house, you've done the same again. You've gone solid.
Exactly. The idea being, give the main view when we're in the public space, but give the guests privacy when needed.
So John, what was originally ordered on that little old bench over there on the ridge really has been delivered here.
Yeah, I mean, we're outside here on this cantilever deck that's just almost embracing the mountains, right? We have this public area for them to dine and entertain with. It's just really, really magical for us.
Very special.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just the architecture reacting to its site. I've
got to say, John, this would have to be my favorite view of the property here.
It is this magic moment, right? It's the courtyard that's happening where we have the main house and the guest house. And by angling them the way that we did, we create this intimate courtyard for the family. The architecture is actually acting as a privacy for them.
Now, while we're out here, John, why is the property called Twisted Ridge? I mean, we're on a ridge, but I'm not really seeing it.
The twisted actually comes back to our architecture. What we did is we took a simple A-frame and we twisted it at the top on all 3 volumes. It creates a lot of special things for us. 1, snow can get easily shed off the roof. 2, it creates maximum solar exposure for future solar that we're gonna put on the project. And 3, there's a sense of poetry here. The architecture starts to dance like the beautiful mountains beyond.
Okay, so the Twisted Ridge is referring to your architecture.
Yeah, our team created this magic moment up here on the beautiful landscape. Actually, I have another great architecture thing to show you.
Okay, full of surprises.
Let's go. So if you look right here, Mike, the 2 roofs are coming together. We have the guest pavilion coming down, crashing into the main house as if it's one thing.
Oh, one roof line. You architects.
Can't help it, this is what we do.
I know a little bit about Up Studio. This is a common tactic of theirs to break apart the elements, to help create thoughtful architecture that's integrated into the landscape. I know we keep saying it, but when all is said and done, this project is all about that view.
Port Orford Seafood Hub used the integrated design process to really leverage input from all of the stakeholders in their community. And by doing that, they're really going to deliver value that means something to everyone in that community.
It really opens up the channel between where does the food come from, how it impacts the community it's building, and then doing what's right for the environment. It's an incredible story to be told for anybody in design that wants to look at how one single project can impact a community.
This is the southern coast of Oregon, and we're covering a really different story today because I've just been told that there's actually no building to see. Is this right?
That's right, Mike.
Well, what am I doing here?
You're here so we could show you a really exciting project that's going to impact the community tremendously.
Okay, but I say it again, there's no building.
That's correct, Mike. What we want to show you today is the culmination and the lining of a lot of stars. So this is something that has the capacity to help people for years to come, long after we're gone.
Right. And do you mind, Jed?
Yep.
USDA.
Yep.
So United States Department of Agriculture. I'm intrigued. Why are you guys involved?
That's an exciting story I want to tell you a little later.
All right. So Pat, these government guys are pretty tight-lipped. Maybe you can help me. You're the mayor of Port Orford?
I am. I'm also the port manager, and me and my girlfriend have a small restaurant in town.
I love small towns. So what's going on here?
We are planning a large seafood hub redevelopment for our port and our community. It's a project that could really change the region if we play our cards right.
Wow, I mean, coming out of New York to here, I mean, this is paradise. Why would you change anything?
Well, one thing that we could be lacking on is opportunity around here, and a facility like this will give everyone in the region opportunities that we haven't had before.
I can't believe this. This is mad. They're just winching the whole boat out of the water.
Mike, there's a lot of moving parts here. As you can see all around us, we've got hardworking fishermen here. We also have a public interface with people coming and wanting to see where their food comes from.
Yeah, there's boats being winched out of the sea.
Yes, there are.
I'm not sure I've seen that before. Like, the jetty is crazy high, and they winch them out. Is that normal?
Yeah, correct, and you probably won't see it because this is only one of 2 dolly docks in the US.
And people find it interesting, you were saying.
Yes.
So it's like an accidental tourist attraction as well.
It very much is. Part of the program of this is to create transparency in people's food. So people can come here and see how the fish is processed, see where it's brought from, and it's exciting for people.
So Jed, all of that forms your brief for the architect.
It does. Our job is to pull together all of these components and bring together the public the needs of the community and the needs of the fishermen here at Port Orford into a project that's going to build and sustain the future of the port.
Every one of these fish gets put in a tote, gets put on a truck, and gets shipped out of here.
You're kidding. So they're not processed here? I would have thought that's a no-brainer.
Most of it is put on these trucks and shipped out of here just for the dollar amount, to keep our business. We know how to fish. We can bring the fish on board.
I see that.
We can bring it to the dock.
Yeah.
But we need that value added to it.
Tom, you've got an interest in this site as well.
I'm a fisheries biologist. We need access to these facilities, our partners, the commercial fishermen that we do research with, studying fish, studying the ocean chemistry. I'm particularly interested in the group of fish called the rockfish, or sebastes.
That's what they're catching over there.
Absolutely, and they are highly valuable, particularly here in Port Orford, where they have found a way to keep those fish alive all the way to market. And by doing that, they add value to the fish, they get more for the fish, and that's good for the ecosystem too, because if you get more for the fish, you don't have to catch as many.
Ah, yes. And I guess you want a ready access to that stuff.
Oh yeah, the seawater, absolutely.
Because where you are at the moment is up on the hill or something, isn't
Correct, and we're really looking forward to having a facility where it's just built in, and that can really support ocean chemistry work, fisheries research, aquaculture, etc.
So Ron, from here, you can see where this whole complex is going to go.
Yes. So you can see the boats here. It's going to span from those boats all the way to those kayaks there.
Oh, wow. It's really big.
It is, yes. There's a lot of things in this building. It's a very mixed-use building, but most importantly, it's a way for the public to come and see what's happening on the port while also being able to purchase directly from the fishermen with a seafood co-op.
Wow, straight out of the tanks.
Yes. Further along, we'll house live tanks, which currently right now they load all those bins.
Yeah.
And all of that fish and all of the seafood gets trucked out of the community.
I heard about that. That's an outrage.
It is.
So here it will be processed?
It is, yes.
That is fantastic. That's going to tick a lot of boxes.
Absolutely.
Now, Ron, back to the Department of Agriculture.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, I don't see the link. How are you guys involved?
We run a very small program that's been around for decades that provides no-cost architectural design services for food facilities across the U.S. and its territories.
For free, for people like this?
Yes.
Okay. My faith in the government is restored. That's amazing. What a great job for you guys.
Yes, I love what I do.
Why don't you give this a try, Michael? This is what I feel is the whole point of this seafood hub redevelopment.
You don't need to ask me twice. I guess the dream is one day this will be cooked and sold right here on this site.
Yes, that is a daydream of mine, is to see people lined up against the seafood hub eating the freshest crab that you can find anywhere in the world. And just so you know, Mike, we cooked this in seawater.
Really? Cooked in seawater?
Yep. Takes all the guess out of it when you don't have to worry how much salt needs to go in the water.
I'd hate to think what this would cost in downtown Tokyo.
It'd just be a mortgage, just a month, maybe a car payment.
You must be pretty excited. What Ron and Jed are doing here is really quite groundbreaking, isn't it?
Yeah, appealing to funders is the last piece of the puzzle. And this is the tool that we wouldn't have been able to use without Ron and Jed and the USDA's help. I feel like this project will help our community reach its full potential with everything that it's already doing.
Yeah, this would be a real focus here. I can see, it's a celebration of what Port Orford is.
Yeah, this right here.
Yeah. I can see now why Ron and Jed wanted to bring me here to see what's going on. Through the power of architecture, they're gifting this community not a fish, but a fishing rod. I'm looking forward to standing here one day on this very spot and seeing that dream as a reality.
The Greenwich project, what an unbelievable tower in the financial district of Manhattan. It's an ode to New York with the material choices that they made. You know, they really brought in the natural colors of the landscape, and they really thought about how do we integrate into this neighborhood.
It is a masterpiece. One thing that I wanted to give nod to is the fact that although it is one of the taller residential buildings in Lower Manhattan, they kept it lower than the World Trade Center complex in order to pay homage to the site. And I thought that was a very nice touch.
The Greenwich by Rafael Viñoly is one of the newest additions to New York City's most historic core, Lower Manhattan. It is a unique residential building that has transformed and continues to develop Lower Manhattan into a true live, work, play neighborhood.
When we saw the site for the first time, we immediately felt it was the perfect opportunity to contribute to the redevelopment of downtown Manhattan in a meaningful way. And today, as the project nears its completion, I'm glad to see that all that we anticipated has arrived. It's already here.
Well, it is truly a unique building. It's got a signature design, and I know you worked with the world-renowned architect Rafael Viñoly on it.
Yes, when we were thinking who could have been the right architect for our project, we immediately decided to work with Rafael Viñoly. At that time, he was one of the greatest architects in the world, and he was working on 432 Park project in Midtown. That project was a game changer for that area, so our idea was to do the same in downtown Manhattan.
Interesting, and you paired Rafael with Elliot March and James White of March and White Design for interiors.
Yes, our idea was to bring somebody who have never worked in the US before, and I think that they gave a fresh touch to the project.
James, Elliot, what an elegant space to arrive home to. Now, I've heard that you collaborated closely with Rafael Viñoly. How did that relationship develop?
Well, actually, myself and James met at architectural school when we were 18, and we were deeply familiar with Rafael's work. This is a space we spent a lot of time working together on. Rafael really pushed for this beautiful geometric space, which is a 30 by 30 by 30 foot height cube, beautifully framed, a lot of symmetry that creates a real residential experience.
Yeah, we really wanted to create that sense of home. You see through some of the details, we have, you know, the fireplaces, the bookcases, some of the materials, the marbles, the metals, almost a kind of nod to Italian classicism.
Even though this is really an intimate space, this is one of the tallest residential buildings in New York. I bet the views must be spectacular upstairs. Wow, what incredible knockout views.
Yeah, we've got this fantastic floor-to-ceiling height glazing. We managed to push the living rooms right to the forefront there. And drawing on our experience designing some of the world's largest yachts, we've clearly programmed the spaces to maximize everything within the residence.
Yeah, we were really inspired by the views here. So we created 3 different color palettes for the residences, which reflect the elements in the city. So we have Terra being the cityscape, we have Aqua being the views of the Hudson, and then Strata obviously relating to the sky. Here in Aqua, you know, there's subtle hints coming through of blue tones. In Terra, we have the marble, which has more of an earthy color tone to it. And then in Stratus, we have lighter wood starting to come into the millwork.
This apartment is great. These views are spectacular, but I know we can go up higher. Elliot, James, we're here at the very top of the building, floating above the entire city. And there's something special going on here, isn't there?
Absolutely, we're at level 87, which is the top of the building. It was a really intentional move with the design and development team to move all of the amenities up here and to get everyone to share in these amazing views of the city.
Interesting, and what kind of uses are included in those amenities?
Here we've got extensive co-working space for people to work throughout the day. We've got a great members club social experience. And then we've got what will be Manhattan's tallest indoor saltwater swimming pool.
It's really speaking to this idea of creating this warm, inviting community. It's not only part of something all the residents of this building will enjoy, but really participates in the entire downtown area. Really nicely done. Congratulations to you all. It is so wonderful to get this tour from you all today. It's clear you all had a wonderful collaboration.
Thank you so much. It is such a pleasure to be here today with you to unveil this unique project after so many years of planning. This is a way for us to give back to a community that we care about and that has given us so much to us.
This season, we're proud to feature 5 affiliate awards. The Best Use of Lighting Award, sponsored by Ferguson, will be presented to one project that displays the most creative use of lighting. The Best Use of Technology, sponsored by Graphisoft, will celebrate one project that best utilised technology in its design. The Sustainability Award, sponsored by Green Building Initiative, will be awarded to one project that highlights exceptional sustainable practices. The Healthy Building Award, sponsored by Keim, celebrates a project that prioritised healthy choices in its design. And the Reimagine Award, sponsored by School of the Art Institute of Chicago, presented to a project with exemplary vision and imagination. Winners will be announced in the final episode of the season.
Everything about the Palace of the Arts Budapest is designed to accentuate the experience of the arts and the performances themselves.
It's exciting to see Gabor take these individual little elements that build this momentous, big architectural dream.
The other side of it is the sort of technical virtuosity with which each of the spaces is tuned like a musical instrument. Great project.
Budapest is known for its old world charm and for being a European cultural hub. But actually, as you move outside of the city, there's a lot of exciting new architecture taking place. And the Palace of the Arts is one such project. Gabor.
Welcome in Budapest.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me at this enormous and most fabulous complex. Now, what was the brief here, apart from being enormous?
The brief was, let's do a performance center in the outskirts of Budapest, which give new life in this part of the riverbank. So, firstly, to install 3 different institutes. The great concert hall for 2,000 seats, the Ludwig collection with a reception hall and a Lily Chamber Hall, and the Festival Theatre for 450 seats.
You asked me to meet you in the lobby, which I have, but I can't help but notice we're on the first floor, not the ground floor. Now, I covered another story with you here in Budapest at the Hungarian State Opera House, and that's what Ebel did 140 years ago.
I think we deeply involve our tradition in the new architecture. Not only where is the main floor, but also the forms. So this hall is a shoebox traditional form, which acoustically works fantastically. So we did a lot of innovation of these traditions, but the tradition and the 21st century playing with that, this was the challenge of the design process.
Now, Gabor, you're one of the world-leading experts on acoustics, no denying that, and so this must be your happy place.
Yes, it's a fantastic instrument which you tune day by day for the concerts.
Yeah.
But the bass hall has a beautiful reverberation, which is very easy to understand. When you clap in the hall, you listen how long the sound dies.
Yes.
All the design elements which is on the parapet, on the ceiling, all the walls, the chairs, the canopy, and these openable, adjustable walls helps you to get this reverberation time.
They're adjustable?
Yes.
Can I do my own test and then we could open the doors and see the difference? That feels like 2 seconds, is it?
2 seconds, the audience is not in, so that's why it's a little bit more bodied. But Laszlo, please help us and open the reverberance chamber doors, please.
Okay, look at that.
It's one door is 7.5 ton heavy, so it's not an easy technical solution.
7.5 tons.
Tons, only one door.
One door, oh my goodness.
Let's make another examination.
Yes.
Mike, let's do it.
Okay, you want me to do it or you do it?
You do it.
You're the expert, but okay, I guess hands are hands. Okay, that's longer again.
Longer again. So we can tune the room for all the concerts.
So Csaba, I'm seeing MÜPA signs around here. I call it Palace of the Arts, but what's MÜPA?
Yeah, MÜPA is coming from the Hungarian name of the Palace of the Arts, Művészetek Palotája. Very similar to MoMA in New York.
Oh, of course. Okay, so it's what the taxi drivers call it.
Yes, this is a performing arts center, and it was something special in the beginning of the 21st century, because originally in Europe, the theaters and the museums were built in separate streets. This is a kind of American model.
It is.
Yes, yes.
I was afraid to say that, but I think it is quite an American idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very popular. Can you imagine we have 1,600 programs in a year in this building? Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Wow, it really is a cultural hub.
Yes, it is.
That was the brief, and that's what it's become.
Yeah, yeah.
The Palace of the Arts, or MÜPA, is at a crossroads. Sure, a multi-purpose offering is borrowing from an American example, but here they've blended that with local customs and heritage to create a new cultural home. Which architectural project in the series do you like best? Tell us in 15 words or less in the Ferguson People's Choice Award. You and a friend could win flights to New York, staying 2 nights at one of Sonesta's 4 New York properties. Enjoy an exclusive VIP guest tour of the Ferguson New York City showroom and select a range of lighting and fans for your project, courtesy of Minka Group. To enter, go to ByDesign.global. Most creative answer wins. Good luck! We hope you've enjoyed our look at some of the finest architectural designs from around America. Join us next time for more groundbreaking architecture on America by Design. For more information on any of the projects featured in this series and to vote in the Ferguson People's Choice Award, go to bydesign.global.